Digital products might be having a moment on social media right now, but people have actually been selling them very successfully for literally years. Today's guest, Erica, has been selling a certain type of digital product, which she has made a minimum of $5,000 a month with for the past 7 years. So no, this isn't a fad. It's a proper, genuine, in-demand business model if you do it correctly. In order to make $5,000 a month or more, there are really two vital things that you need to know, which most new digital product sellers don't quite get right. So enjoy this marketing and sales masterclass from the absolute expert on digital product sales, Erica from Big Cat Creative. Okay, Erica, tell us all about it. What digital product exactly are you selling? And also, how long have you been doing this for?
So I sell Squarespace templates and have been doing so since 2017. So 7 years, maybe just under 7 years. Is that the right math? Yeah, I think so, yeah. So quite a while.
So there's clearly some longevity in this. Like this has been, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been like reliable sales roughly over like that number of years of website templates.
Yeah, for sure. Like it took a little while to get started in the beginning, but within the first year, everything became sort of pretty consistent after doing a lot of marketing and getting everything to a good place. And since then it's been, generally pretty consistent. So yeah, that's some good longevity in the website template game.
Okay, and then can you share what kind of experience does someone need if they want to do this as well? What experience exactly did you have before you started building this website template shop?
Yeah, that's such a good question, and I get asked that all the time from people who want to do the same thing. I feel like there's like a difference between experience and skills. So my personal experience, I had experience in graphic design, like I was a qualified graphic designer and had been doing brands and other graphic design stuff for a few years. And also I had just started within the last year with web design. So I didn't have a ton of experience in web design. I had been working with clients for that year and I was self-taught. But in terms of actual skills, I would say that I deep dived on the learning skills portion. So not a ton of experience as in working one-on-one with people in that industry, but lots of skills that I had learned and self-taught, or I should say taught myself. So I think in terms of experience, I don't necessarily think you have to have any experience working in the web design industry or working one-on-one with clients. But I would say you want to be really confident in your skills in that platform. So for me, that's Squarespace, your web design skills, your the design skills, and even the strategy of a web design, and never stop learning those skills because you're going to be selling templates and people are going to be looking to you as the expert. They're going to be buying a product off you as the expert. So having those skills is important, I think. But obviously you never stop learning them and building templates along the way. You're just going to continue building those skills as you go. But you do need to have a base level of skills in whatever platform you're choosing to build your website templates on.
And did you go to school for graphic design or no?
I did, but I don't have a university degree. I don't have a degree in graphic design, but I did in high school and some courses.
Okay, so next up, let's talk about where exactly you sell these things. So if someone wants to sell website templates, talk to me about marketplaces versus your own website for selling your templates on, and sort of what are the pros and cons of marketplaces, and then maybe you can get into the pros and cons of selling them on your own website.
Personally, I've always prioritized my own website sales, and I've dabbled in marketplaces, but I do know a lot of people that have quite a bit of success selling primarily on marketplaces or even only on marketplaces. I think you can find success either way, but I also think the best way is having your templates on both of those platforms. Why would you choose one when you can have both? And I also think that I personally prioritize my own sales through my own website because I don't necessarily trust in marketplaces to be around in 5 to 10 years. Who knows if they have the longevity to last. You're putting all of your eggs in that basket and things can change. They could potentially shut down. Their fees could increase by a big amount. They just have so much control over your sales and your business that it's a little bit scary putting all of your trust into one marketplace. If you use multiple marketplaces, that's even better. And then multiple marketplaces plus working on marketing your own store, I think that's probably the best thing. And the thing about marketing through marketing your own store is that, it's yours. You have full control over it. You control the pricing. You control everything, and you just don't have that worry about, the potential changes with marketplaces and their structures and their pricing and if they'll even be around. And you don't want to, you don't want to put all of your trust into that.
That makes sense. Can you talk about what are the best or most common marketplaces to list your website templates if you wanted to go that route?
I personally only have our templates on Creative Market, but I know that a lot of people sell on Creative Market and also Etsy. Those are probably the two biggest ones for website templates that I see people having success with. Yeah, particularly Etsy, which I've never delved into. I do think there's potential there to make a lot of sales. But again, I would always recommend, if you are going to use Creative Market or Etsy, to just at least have your own shop getting built up on the side.
That makes sense. Okay, and so if we wanted to sell the templates on our own website, how exactly are customers supposed to find our templates? How do we get people to our website to even buy them in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest question, isn't it? If we just jump back to marketplaces for a second, the good thing about marketplaces is that they often do have this sort of built-in audience. Unlike your website, you're not going to get that with your website. You're not going to just get people seeing your website straight away. It's really reliant on how much marketing you do. And there's so many different ways you can get people to your website. So you can create content on a blog or content like YouTube that is really searchable. And by searchable, I mean people Googling things or looking things up online, and they'll be able to actually, you'll show up in the search results. And so they'll find you, they'll find your website, and they'll arrive to your website that way. So creating searchable content is a really, really big one. Paige, I know you love it as a marketing strategy as well. Blog, YouTube, and even podcasting is good in a way. It's not quite as searchable, but podcast combined with a blog, there you're going to get people arriving on your site through search engines. And then from there, you can also do create content on all the social media platforms. Choose whatever one you want. Probably don't do all of them at the same time. It's a lot of work, but there's so many to choose from depending on what you like to use and maybe where your ideal client is actually hanging out. And also you could use affiliate marketing. I think that's a really good way to get people to visit your website through basically recommendations of others that customers trust. Trying to find a way to reach large numbers of people and get them back to your website is the goal. And there's tons of different ways you can do that through different marketing strategies. But yeah, I would, the first ones that come to mind are always blogging and YouTube and creating that searchable content, then all of the social media platforms and affiliate marketing.
Can you talk to me about, do you know the breakdown or roughly what percentage comes from your affiliates, percentage of sales comes from affiliates versus YouTube versus social media? Do you have any idea?
I know that 90+% of our traffic and audience building comes through Google and search engine, searchable content, SEO. That's really worked for us because that's where we put all of our energy for the last 7 years. So I don't want to tell everyone that's, this works way better than anything else. I know that it works really well, but if you look at the amount of effort that we put into that compared to all of the other things that I just talked about, like social media and affiliate marketing, we put 90% of our effort into that too. So yes, I can tell you that most of our sales and most of our audience building and most of our traffic comes from those blogging and YouTube and people finding us through searchable content.
Love that. Okay, and then talk to me about also if someone's sitting here and they're thinking, okay, want to do this, want to create some content on either social or searchable content like SEO content to get sales for their templates, what should we be creating content on? Sometimes people are like, oh, well, if I give a tutorial, then they're just going to go build their own website themselves. So why should I, what else do I create content on, if that makes sense?
I think it really, really depends on who you're trying to attract. Who you're trying to attract as in your ideal client. So getting that relatively clear first. It doesn't have to be like super, super niche. You don't have to like pinpoint an exact person, but getting like a general idea of who you're trying to attract and sell your templates to and who you've created those templates for, that's going to make creating searchable content so much easier, because then you'll know, or you can at least do some research into, okay, what are these people trying to figure out? The most obvious thing is like creating content around Squarespace, creating content around how to build a website, or like how to do this on Squarespace, because we're targeting those beginners. But you can even like niche down more than that, because I know a lot of people selling templates, they specifically are targeting, let's say, people in the health industry, or, you know, like let's say someone's creating website templates for yoga studios. You're going to want to create content about creating websites for yoga studios, because that's what the people you're trying to target are going to be searching. So really, really important you get relatively clear on that first. Otherwise, you're going to create a lot of content that might get clicks and might get people on your website, but it's not going to convert to sales. So you've got to find that sweet spot where it's like, okay, this is going to get a lot of traffic, but it's also going to attract those right sort of people. Did that answer the question?
Yep, totally. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Can you talk about, so running like sales and promotions in your business. If you don't do sales and promotions, is this like the type of business where you just like put up your stuff for sale and never run any like launches or sales or promotions? Or is that key to getting sales? Do they just sell normally day to day, or do you have to also like run big promos every, like, I don't know, Black Friday and whatever?
I think that's a really good question. And I think it sort of depends it depends on what you've focused your marketing efforts on for the majority of your business, I guess. Like we have, like I said, focused all of our marketing on this long-term SEO or search engine optimization, getting people to click on our posts, and those sort of marketing techniques have that, like they last a long time. They're really long-term. And because we've done this, we haven't had to rely on promotions. Promotions are awesome, but we've spent the majority of our energy focusing on that long-term stuff. If you have chosen a different marketing technique, like if you are using social media and maybe not focus on those longer-term things, and you are getting most of your audience and your sales through social media, then promotions are probably going to be like a way bigger part of your strategy, because you don't have as consistent sales coming in through that consistent Google traffic. So it really just depends what you've done, like what you've chosen for your marketing. I think regardless of whatever marketing strategy you've chosen, promos are really awesome and can be a great way to boost your income for a certain period of time, and just like even build your audience, get more sales. Like I don't think they're ever a bad idea, but it's whether you have the time to work on them and whether you need them in your business, I guess.
That's true.
The question.
That's interesting, because I feel like when you say, so if I think about if someone's searching in Google like Squarespace website template, or like website templates for photographers or yoga studios or whatever, then they are like searching. They probably want to buy relatively quickly. And so therefore, they probably just buy on a more day-to-day basis. Whereas on social media, they might just be like, I don't know, they followed you at some point because you make pretty stuff. And then like when you have a sale, that's like the reason to buy, if that makes sense. So it's a good point about how the marketing strategy relates to the importance or lack of importance of running promotions in the business. Yeah.
And I think you can like bake promotions into your, like it could be a big part of your strategy. You could have a big sale 4 times a year, or I think like that is having promotions is a strategy in itself. It's not something we've done because we haven't had to, and we've just spent that time that we could be focusing on promotions on more blogging, more SEO stuff. There's a real common theme here. But if you bake that into your strategy, I think that is a really, really awesome way to boost your sales. And by the time you get to the end of the year, you'll notice that like obviously your sales will be less consistent than if you were focusing on something that had a more consistent return. But, at the end of the year, it might look the same because you've had big highs and it's gone up and down. So, I think promos they're cool. They're a good idea.
How many promos do you actually run in a year, like on average? What do you say?
We used to spend way more, like we used to focus way more on putting more effort into our promos, and we put way less effort into them now for that same reason. Like we're spending all of our time doing other marketing stuff that we've prioritized. When we did put more effort into them, they saw a much bigger return. So like I said, like if you're going to bake that into your strategy, you can really put a lot of effort into those promos and you can see really good results from those, like we used to. But we just, like, it does take time, and you know, it's like there's only so many things that you can do. We typically run maybe like 2 or 3 a year. We usually do Black Friday and maybe a mid-year sale, and then we might have a couple of template launches where we'll do like a little bit of a giveaway. But I wouldn't say any of those are worthy of me saying that they're like big promotions, because we just don't put like enough effort into them for them to be like really successful. Even though they still generate, like even with the minimal effort, they still generate more sales, and they generate, depending on if it's a giveaway or a sale or like some sort of promo, they often, you know, our audience will grow on Instagram or our email list or however we've decided to run it.
Love that. Okay, tell me also about if you run a promo week or whatever, like Black Friday, for example, people always hear like, oh, I'm running a sale, or I'm running a launch, or I'm running a promo. And they're just like, what does that even entail? So like, what does it entail? If you're running a promotion, what exactly is happening?
Well, like I said, it sort of depends on the kind of promotion you're running. The one thing we do when we launch a new template is we often do like a giveaway week. So just to promote the launch of the new template, we'll run a giveaway on social media or through our website. And basically people will enter by commenting, or you can choose whatever entry requirements you want. Sometimes we get them to sign up for our email list, whatever we decide we want to do that for that promo period. And it just generates a bit of buzz and a bit of traffic and a bit of audience building around that giveaway. So that's quite fun. Otherwise, we generally are doing sales. So whether we've launched a different product or whether it's just like a sale period, like I said, we run maybe a mid-year sale and a Black Friday sale, then it'll just be like 25% off or 30% off for this week. For both of those promos, we generally send out a few emails to our email list, and we post extra on social media about it, on our stories and on our feed. But like I said, it could be done a lot better. So don't use this blueprint for promo. But I do think like emailing your list if you do have one. If you don't have one, find a resource. I'm sure Paige has a resource somewhere here about building your email list, because that can be really important, especially if you're going to do sales and promos. Yeah, I don't know. You tell me, what other promo techniques are there?
No, yeah, that's true. Some people run live events and everything, or like trainings or whatever, but I feel like when I look at template shops, that's not as common that they do them, but it is an option, but it's not. But yeah, it's mostly just posting more on like socials and sending emails and stuff is the backbone of a lot of promotions.
You're right with the live events. I think that there probably is some potential there to do some really cool like workshops or live events to run into a promo period. You just want to make sure that, I guess, your templates are priced high enough that all of that effort is worth it. Yeah, because that's quite a lot of effort to run an event. Yeah. But it could also just be really, really helpful and really good for your audience to run some sort of event as well. Like that might be a really fun way.
Tell me about other things over time, over the last like 7 years, let's say. What have you done to make your templates sell better? So did you like tweak your sales pages to get better conversions, and like what were those tweaks? Or did you do things like switch from Photoshop graphics to Canva graphics because that was a big like hesitation to buy? Were there any other hesitations to buying that you like changed, that you stopped maybe coding on the website so people were less afraid of the website templates? Or what did you do to make these things sell better over time?
That's a good question. I'm like, okay, thinking back through the last 7 years, we've definitely changed a lot of stuff. But I would say that the majority of stuff that we've actually changed about the templates is on the back end, but that doesn't really correlate to the sales. So if we're just talking stuff that actually helps the templates sell, I would say just making sure that you're hitting those up-to-date designs that your audience is looking for. At the end of the day, the longer I'm in this business, I really see that like the design is super, super important. So like people buy because they like a design, and making sure those designs hit the mark. So when a design doesn't hit the mark, we do less of those and we do more of the things that are working. So basically experimenting with the different designs. That we've definitely tried a variety of designs, and it's pretty clear what ones are more popular. And so we do more of the ones that are more popular. And to be honest, from where we started, which was a very, very basic website, to where we're at now, which is much more advanced, longer sales pages, has it made that much of a difference? Not really. I think the majority is like getting the marketing out there and having people like your designs. Those are like the two biggest things.
That's good. That's good to know though.
Yeah, that's what I always tell people, because a lot of people compare their template business to ours, which looks like a lot from, you go on our website and there's a lot of stuff on there. We do a lot of marketing. Our website's big. And I just tell people like, you don't really need that. You just need really good design that you're, confident that it's going to sell to your ideal customer. And you need to work on your marketing and just ignore all the other stuff we're doing, because we've been doing this for 7 years. Like it's just like a buildup of stuff for us, And it's not, none of it is super necessary. I think having a really solid design and people actually being able to
traffic.
see it. Yeah, getting traffic, marketing, so people actually see it. Like I said at the beginning, the majority of stuff we have actually changed. All that stuff that we change on the back end, that's to keep the existing customer happy and to to improve the success rate of people using our templates. So that's different than what's actually selling them in the first place, because I feel like what actually sells a template is different from what gets a good review of the template and makes people actually successful with it and actually be able to build their website with it. So I would say we've learned more and have changed more and have done lots more trial and error on that back end stuff, just to make sure our customers are finding as much success as possible. Front end stuff just comes down to a good design and marketing.
Love that. Okay, that's good. Also, for anyone watching, if you want more details on like what makes a good design, Erica and I actually created an entire video where we talked a lot more in depth about that. So I'll link that above and below. So if you're curious to know like what makes a good design, then watch that other video. But coming back to, you also have some additional products. You have social media graphics and you have sales page templates now, not just like full website templates. Can you tell me, why did you make the decision to start offering those things?
Yeah, okay. So sales page templates was actually one we just got asked a lot about if we had them. So always listen to what your customers are asking for, because that's obviously going to sell. A lot of people asked us, do you have a website template that has a sales page in it? Or do you have just like a single page website? Or just, people ask, do you have a sales page template? So we made sales page templates. We partnered up with one of my friends who's like a sales page copy and strategy expert, and she helped us, like we worked together to develop this amazing sales page, and it's been awesome. People have loved it, but I knew they would love it because we were getting asked about it. So that is the biggest reason we created those. And the social media templates, similarly, like people will ask if we have matching or even just social media templates. And I have created these things because I just love, like, if I could create every single template that a business owner would ever need to DIY any of their design, I would. Like, I would create so much more if I had the time. There's like a laundry list of things that I want to create, but just like we've prioritized marketing and working on our Squarespace templates. But at my heart, I want people to be able to DIY all of their designs. So that's really like the reason why. That's the reason why. But they work together perfectly. Obviously, sales pages is just an extension of your website, and it's just great for selling, which is, the people that we help online are people are trying to sell stuff and make money online. And social, same thing. It's like so good for your marketing and just the opportunity there to help our existing customers in a slightly different way, and to have like the matching social media templates to our website templates. I don't know, I couldn't say no to that. So that's why.
That makes sense. And then can you tell me, also thinking about like percentage breakdown of those different things, people always want to know that. So what's the percentage, would you say, of like template sales, website template sales versus social template sales versus sales page sales, if that makes sense?
The majority of our sales are definitely for our standard Squarespace website templates. And that is because that's what we've marketed. That's what we've put all of our effort into for the last 7 years. I strongly believe that if you just sold sales page templates or if you just sold social media templates, you could definitely find success in just those. But you need to be creating content around them. You need to be marketing them. And we've just spent all of our time and effort in marketing those website templates. And so the sales page templates and the social media templates are more of an add-on and like an additional thing to buy alongside a website template rather than their own products. And that's only because of the way that we've positioned them. Like, we've done that purposefully because I just don't have the capacity to market another product as heavily as our website templates.
Okay, love all of this. So if someone's thinking, I'm interested, I want to test my hand at building website templates, what would be like the best place for them to actually start? What do they need to do first?
Yeah, okay, good question. So I think the first thing to do is to jump into, I'm assuming that you guys want to use Squarespace. If you want to use a different platform to do your templates, either way, you need to learn the skills. So dive into Squarespace and start learning Squarespace skills. There's tons of resources online. Just get in there, start practicing, start building some mock templates. And I would also say, like, if you have friends or family that might need a website, that's a really awesome way to learn new skills and practice your Squarespace skills. Start working with some friends and family, and then ideally choose an ideal client. So like, who do you really want to work with? And that can be relatively broad, but you want to narrow down to a certain extent that you can say like, okay, this is what they might be looking for in a website template. And these are the sort of people that I want to work with, and maybe go try and find some of those people, reach out to them, see if you can start practicing your skills by creating websites for them. You might be doing this for free or for really cheap in the beginning, and that's fine because you're just learning. So it's really just about diving in, learning those skills in web design. You can learn so many of them online for free through our blog, our resources, and Paige as well has so many amazing resources on her site and her YouTube channel.
Erica clearly knows her stuff, right? If you want to learn more about the setup of a business like this, how do you exactly transition from one-to-one client services over to templates, or how many templates do you actually need in your shop in order to launch, or how long does setting something up like that actually take? Watch this video next. Erica and I did another interview where we delve into all of those questions and more.